So it can be hard for families to figure out exactly what do you say to your teen when they're going through this process. How much do you protect them? How much do you involve them in their care? And our perspective here at Mott is that it's really important for all kids, but especially teenagers, to be active participants in their care. Parents can help with that by letting teens talk during rounds, during clinic appointments, and in fact, it might be wise to start letting them take the lead during appointments and then having the parent or caregiver kind of come in with their questions afterwards. And this is important not only to help your teen feel like their care is their care and to own the process, but also to help prepare them for what will eventually be their care in the adult world. The expectation in the adult world is that they will be independent and will talk to their doctors, and you may not be there. So we want them to get those skills now. And some teens are not always comfortable with that, but we want to start building those tools early in their treatment so that they do feel like this is their body, this is their care, and they can advocate for themselves with their team. It's really a challenging situation for teens to connect and feel like they're still a part of their peer group. And peers provide so much support and also a sense of identity to teenagers. So being isolated and away from them can be a real shock to their system. Luckily here we have lots of access to media, and so kids can get their Facebook on the big screen TV in their room. They can Skype with their friends. Their friends can visit if it's medically appropriate. I think the biggest challenge from a staff and parent perspective is allowing those things to happen in the way they would at home. You know, at home, if a kid is on Facebook, their parents aren't hovering over their shoulder, or if they're Skyping with a friend, or if they're on the phone with them. And so we need to be a little more thoughtful about maybe going out of the room and giving them some time alone with their friends, encouraging friends to visit if their health allows. And just encouraging them to maintain that contact as much as they can. So with bone marrow transplant, there can be a lot of physical changes, especially changes in physical appearance, which can be of concern to teens. And it's a real threat to your sense of self when your physical appearance is altered, especially because of this medical illness you didn't want. I think as much as kids can be prepared for what might happen, and we try to do that as much as possible here so that they know what the potential physical changes will be, which things might be permanent, which things are temporary, and how long those things might last. That's very important for them to know what to expect. I think also coming up with plans for how they're going to cope with those changes ahead of time, making it as fun as possible, so talking to other kids about what they have done, thinking about scarves and hats as fun accessories that you could use, and then working with our staff here, our child life, psychology, social work, to help to develop the skills to deal with some of those challenges. So how do you handle it when you're walking through the hall and a kid says something about your bald head? And so we can help with that. Another way for teens to remain connected to their life and to peers is to utilize some of the resources that we have on the floor and throughout the hospital. We have a teen room on the 7th floor, and they can go and play pool, they can play foosball, they can get on the internet, they can play video games. So if their friends come to visit, or if they want to get out of the room for a little while and play games with their parents, they can do those things, which are some of the more normal things. We also have a child life activity room, and sometimes teens like coming and doing crafts or doing other projects or just hanging out with other kids on the floor. And if their medical condition allows, we want them to take advantage of those things. We also encourage moving around the hospital as much as possible when your medical condition allows, so that you're getting up, you're taking walks, you're getting out of the room and trying to do some of the more normal things that teens would typically do throughout the day. We also have a school teacher here at the hospital, and so if your transplant happens during the school year, when you're feeling well enough during transplant, we might be encouraging you to work with our school teacher so that you're not getting behind in school, because that's a huge concern for a lot of teens.